How I feel? Left. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rockin' it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video we're going to be talking a little bit about the draft. I know it's November, but we're a terrible team, so what else do we have to look forward to? The NFL draft. In more detail, we're going to talk about a couple of players that Washington could be in range to draft, from Marvin Jr. to Joe Alt and the kid from Penn State. So let's talk about it, but before we do, make sure you guys go ahead down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please help me get there as soon as possible. It means all the world to me. Thank you so much, and you can now become a channel member if you would like. So yesterday I made a video on the Panthers, David Tepper. I made that video because I want to expand my brand. I love the Commanders. I'm always going to talk Commanders, but I want to add a little bit NFL videos too to my channel to grow to a bigger audience. So I made a Panthers video, and I made it for that specific reason, but also for if my Commanders fans were to check it out, to realize we do not have it bad. Like, this season was bad because the expectations that we put on it, but we do not have it bad like the Carolina Panthers, man. They absolutely hate their owner. We just got rid of ours, so we're good, right? We got a bright future. They have a future with no type of brightness in sight. So go ahead and check that video out. But now let's get to the video today. So Washington, more likely than not, will end up with the 4th pick on Sunday after the loss to the Miami Dolphins. Because, I mean, let's keep it a buck. We're going to lose. Not probably. We're going to lose. I'm thinking 38-17. So after we lose to Miami, we're going to be able to move up to the 4th spot because the Chicago Bears are on a bye week. And they won yesterday. So Washington is inching closer to that top area, top 4, top 5, whatever you want to say, inside the top 5. And that is a prime example or prime position to get you a blue chip player, whether it's the left tackle to protect Sam Howell, or whether it's a game changer blue chip wide receiver like Marvin Jr. I want to know, what would you guys pick if you're in that position? Now, for some reason, I feel like Washington is going to end up winning 1, maybe 2 more games if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, which he says he's coming back December 24th. But what is really the purpose to come back for the New York Jets? By that time, they're not going to be in no playoff position. The Rams are a good team, and they're sneaky, man. They might mess around getting into the playoffs after everybody thinking that they was trash. That's the only 2 games that I really see us winning. So we could potentially win 2 more games, and I honestly see us winning 1 more. So we'll probably be like the 5th, 6th, maybe 7th pick, somewhere around there, depending on how many other teams get 5 wins, or are already at 5 wins, and we'll finish with 5 wins. So we'll be around that area, in my opinion. So Washington is going to be having an opportunity to draft one of these guys. I'm going to keep it a whole buck with y'all, and let me know how y'all feel down below in the comment section. Again, if you agree or disagree with me, that's totally fine. Leave it down below in the comment section. I would love to read it. If Washington is in a position to draft Marvin Jr., I think it's hard to pass up on that opportunity, in my opinion, because Marvin Jr., although we are really good at wide receiver and we have a big issue up front, that is a guy that you cannot pass up on because of the caliber player that he is going to eventually turn out to be. He has a Hall of Fame father, and he has a Hall of Fame path. This guy is amazing, and he's a guy that you want to build your offense around. Reasons as to why you should draft Marvin Jr. outside of the reasons that I just named. 1, Terry McLaurin is 28 years old. Okay, remember, we drafted Terry when he was like 24, 25. He's already 28 years old, so he's on his second half of his career, right? So in 2 to 3 years, Terry McLaurin is going to be 30, 31 years old. Marvin Jr. is 21 years old. Okay, in 3 years, he will be 24, 25 years old, just hitting the prime of his career. And then you have Jahan Dotson, who you drafted, who is also pretty young. He's 23 years old. So You have, for the next 3 years, you have a 26, 27-year-old wide receiver, depending on when their birthdays are. I don't want to get that deep into it. I think Jahan just turned 23, though. But you have a 26, 27-year-old receiver in Jahan Dawson. Still pretty young. And then you have a 24, 25-year-old Marvin Harrison Jr. In my opinion, that is a really, really good situation to be in for your young quarterback in Sam Howell. Now, I understand Washington has a big hole up front, and that's why I would not be opposed to drafting a left tackle. Honestly speaking, before we got in range of a Marvin Harrison Jr., I had my mind set on one of these tackles. However, I'm going to also be honest with you guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. probably is not going to be available even if we're at 4. I think the Chicago Bears will end up taking Caleb Williams. And then at number 2, Arizona is going to stick with Kyler Murray. I know it's a whole lot of talks about him potentially, getting rid of him. But first of all, nobody's going to take on that contract. And second of all, I think Arizona is going to keep on to him and build more around him. And I think that's where Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go. Him and Hollywood Brown, they're working on a contract extension for Hollywood Brown, or at least in talks. So that offense is going to get boosted back up. So I think he's going to go to Arizona at number 2. I think it's hard to pass up on him. But then if he gets passed up on, and I think number 3 right now, if I could look at the draft order right now, I think that number 3 is actually going to be the New England Patriots. So the New England Patriots are going to take Drake May, more likely than not, if Caleb Williams is gone. If Caleb Williams is there, obviously they're going to take Caleb Williams. So if we get to 3, and Marvin Harrison's on that board still after the Patriots pick, and we're sitting at 4, I think there is no way you can pass up on that opportunity. And I understand, like I said, man, I get it, y'all. We need tackles badly, but do y'all understand the caliber of player that Marvin Harrison Jr. could be for us, right? He is a game changer, more likely than not. And I know y'all know who he is, obviously. But left tackle is super important. Joe Alt is a guy that a lot of people like. And Fasonu, the guy from Penn State, he's really good too. And I would love those guys here. So don't get me wrong. But obviously you can still address free agency with your tackles. If there's anybody in free agency that you want to have, or you can build it up in the late rounds, right? Second round pick. You got an early second round pick, more likely than not, because Chicago isn't going to win many more games. So you're going to have an early second round pick. So one of those second round picks can be an extension to the third round. To the first round. So you could potentially get a late in first round left tackle. If you was to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, is that something that you want to be comfortable with, or do you want to be for sure in that you're getting a blue chip Trent Williams-esque player? And I'm not saying these guys are Trent Williams, but I'm saying when you draft a guy that high, obviously you think he's going to be left tackle of the future, and he's going to be here for the long run protecting Sam Howell's blind side. I see both ways. I see where both people are coming from when it says I want Harrison and I want one of these tackles. I get it, and I'm fine with either one. But me personally, if I was the one pulling the trigger on the pick, if we're at 4 and Harrison Jr. is sitting right there, I don't care what nobody says, man. That you can't pass up on that. Look what the Bengals did. The Bengals drafted Jamar Chase, right? And then they still addressed the left tackle position in the offensive line later. Obviously getting Orlando Brown. They had Lyle Collins for a stretch. Obviously Jonah Williams. So they drafted a wide receiver, and then they took off. So, again, you can survive with the offense we have now. I'm not telling you our offense desperately needs wide receiver upgrade. I would love Curtis Samuel back, too, if we don't get a wide receiver, if we don't get Marvin Harrison Jr. So, again, we're not starving at wide receiver. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if we're in that predicament come draft night, it's going to be very hard for me to pass up on him. But if they do, in favor of a left tackle, I'm not going to be pissed. Curtis Samuel is a guy that I want back, and depending on what they do in free agency, if they re-sign Curtis Samuel, you can kiss Marvin Harrison Jr. goodbye. They're not gonna get him, right? But if they don't re-sign Curtis Samuel, or don't really do nothing in free agency with the wide receiver position, that is an opportunity for you to get Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know he's not the only wide receiver on the board, but in my opinion, he's the only wide receiver that I'm willing in our predicament. I know he's other first-round wide receiver talent, but I'm talking about in our predicament, considering the fact that we already have some talent at the wide receiver position, that is the only wide receiver that I'm willing to take in the position that we're going to be in potentially. Now, again, in my humbled opinion, I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be there at 4, but if he hypothetically is, it's going to be very hard for me to pass up on the talent that Marvin Harrison Jr. is. Can you imagine a wide receiving core with Jahan Dotson, a healthy Terry McLaurin, and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Come on, man. That'd be nasty. With a competent offensive coordinator that's actually going to use these guys in the proper way, it's going to be crazy, man. So, again, if I'm sitting at 4 and Harrison Jr. is looking at me in my face, I'm pulling the trigger on Harrison Jr. If he's not there, give me Joe O or Penn State guy. I got to do my research on those guys to see which one I would like better. And even if they were to pull the trigger on those tackles, if Harrison Jr. was there, I wouldn't be pissed because I understand you need to protect your quarterback's blind side. And more likely than not, that means we re-sign Curtis Samuel. And I'm fine with that because our talent on our wide receiving core is really good. But it could be really great if you get Marvin Harrison Jr. You feel me? So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments section. Who would you draft? If Washington finishes the season at top 4, at number 4, I should say. I don't know if we can move up any closer. Maybe. I don't know. We're not moving up any closer because New England is not going to win any more games. And we already beat New England. So, the highest we probably going to go is going to be 4. So, if we got to 4, and that was our position at the end of this year, and you had the opportunity to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., would you do it? Leave it down below in the comment section. How do you feel about it? So as always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Love each and every one of you all. Thank you for watching today's video. Have a blessed one. Peace.